All right, to still more breaking news now, as a federal judge in Chicago just announced a major ruling in the last hour. It puts a temporary hold on the deployment of National Guard troops in the state of Illinois. Judge April Perry issued a temporary restraining order. The order blocks the troops in the state for 2 weeks. It caps a day of hearings in a lawsuit filed by the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago to stop the deployment of the military altogether. Now, the ruling comes at a critical time. Hundreds of National Guard troops have already been sent to Chicago, 200 from Texas, another 300 from southern Illinois. Meanwhile, in Oregon, another hearing on National Guard troops in Portland wrapped up earlier today. The state had asked also for a temporary restraining order to stop military troops from moving there. No ruling so far on that request. For more on the situation in Chicago, let's bring back Jesse Weber, our legal analyst, and Alderman Ray Lopez from Chicago's 15th Ward. Alderman, great to have you with us. So, Alderman, the judge just ruled she has seen, quote, no credible evidence that there is a danger of a rebellion in the state of Illinois, issued that temporary restraining order. What's your reaction?
I think the judge is clueless, to be perfectly honest with you, Elizabeth. When you see what's going on here in the ground, we just had a communication from the Drug Enforcement Agency to the Department of Homeland Security stating that gangs and cartels are coordinating together to go to target ICE agents operating in our neighborhoods. That is a direct threat to those federal enforcement officers here trying to effectuate the laws of immigration here in the city of Chicago, with, by the way, no support from Chicago Police Department.
Well, the Chicago Police Department obviously disagrees with that and has said so publicly. The judge also said she was concerned about the tactics ICE agents have been using, saying there is, quote, growing evidence that the DHS's actions or versions of events are simply unreliable. She's looking at internal emails in the DHS compared to public statements that same day. She said they do not match in her ruling. There have been complaints and several lawsuits filed against ICE, accusing ICE agents of being heavy-handed, shooting rubber bullets at people when they pose no threat or without warning. Do you think these ICE agents are acting inappropriately?
I think when an ICE agent or any member of law enforcement feels that they are under direct threat, they have a right of self-preservation. When you have individuals trying to chase law enforcement off the road, ambush them, corral them, are creating fake incendiary devices or other explosive devices designed to cause chaos, they are under threat. And you see that through social media. You see that in many posts online. There's a real growing threat, and you're inspiring that kind of activity through these protests. And if you fail to recognize that, something deadly eventually is going to happen with these ICE agents.
We do know protest is a constitutionally protected speech. You are allowed to say anything you want. You are not allowed to put your hands on an officer or impede them in any way. Jesse, this ruling was quite thorough. The judge comparing, as I said, those internal DHS emails which said all good, compared with public statements from President Trump or DHS Secretary Kristi Noem that said all hell's breaking loose the same day about the same area.
I think this echoes a narrative which might also translate to the Insurrection Act later on as another avenue which the president can use. There seems to be a disconnect. Right. So there's a disconnect between the federal government and what we're seeing on the ground there. And I think it was an argument that was made today in court where, okay, if there is a rebellion that would justify the use of military force, whether it's the state's own National Guard, bringing in National Guard from another state, hey, sending in military, basically taking over the functions of local law enforcement. Where are the rebels? Where are these rebels? What are they doing? Where's the insurrection? If we're having people prosecuted right now in this courthouse, doesn't that kind of defeat the whole federal government's argument for the need for federal force? Now, remember, this has always been an extreme option. This is when there's a complete loss of control. There is an insurrection. You can't literally run the federal government anymore. And it seems that the president is going to have difficulty, at least with this judge, convincing that the situation is so dire.
Well, clearly, at least for 2 weeks, we will see what happens. I don't know if they're going to pull all those troops out, send them all home, or make them sleep in trailers in suburban Illinois. It's very unclear what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks since they've been now barred. Jesse Weber, Alderman Raymond Lopez, thank you both so much. Really appreciate it.
Got it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.